Bear with me, we're going to get to how you create connection in a bit, but what we're first going to talk about is how we create disconnection. How we weaken the bridge, or perhaps destroy the bridge that can connect us to our kids for that relationship that we're longing for that's going to really help us help them. So the biggest mistake parents tend to make is that they fail to understand their child's perception of a given situation or reality. And the reason why is because you're not them. No matter how much you love them and how much you try to understand them, kids come up with the craziest things. I thought my parents were trying to poison me. Where'd that come from? Well, whatever my perceptions of unworthiness were. You know? So we have no idea what kids perceive, and because I work with kids a bit, it is amazing what kids perceive. So far different than what their parents think. So, or parents sometimes assume, well, it's very conceptual. So I think my kid probably is going through this, or I think this is what's happening, or this is what's happening. Have you asked your kid? Have you checked in a way that you felt like really connected and got that from them? If your kid even knows what it is, right? So we want to be really careful about that, but that's one of the biggest mistakes, and there are some reasons why we do it. Assumptions is certainly one of it. Another one is because we're being too rational. We're being too linear for something that is not rational nor linear. Well, if my kid just did his homework earlier, he wouldn't be so stressed later. How rational? Why aren't they doing that? Well, it's a good question. It's because if we look at a bit of brain development, when the brain is small, the frontal cortex, the front of the brain isn't fully developed. That is the seat of reasoning. It's where we're going to logic things out. What's happening more is it's the limbic system, the amygdala, the emotional processing center of the brain. So they're processing in a way that is, of course, very small picture, but it's really geared towards what's going to help them feel regulated and good. That's it. So big picture, their brain isn't wired to actually do that. So we have to support them gently because they're just not wired for it yet. That's why we're more responsible when we're older. It's not because we've learned more. It's because, well, sure, but our brain is more sophisticated, right? So when we want to be really logical with our kids, we might disconnect from the actual process they're going through. Why is the kid not turning off their cell phone or staying up, to 3 in the morning on their phone, let's say, for example? Well, if we get down to it, they're scared. They're scared of being disconnected. They're scared of missing out. There's something going on. So we try to be rational about it. That's not the way that's going to cause any change, right? So being too logical and rational for something that is irrational, because emotions would be irrational, not in a negative sense. It's just not rational. I know it's crazy, but I love you. Okay, well, it's crazy, and you love that person.